Howdy. Now the firewood is scarce. Foresters fear wood thieves. Wood shortage. We are in Switzerland. Swiss news. Fear of a cold apartment. Tree trunks are increasingly being stolen from forests in Germany. Firewood is also becoming scarce in Switzerland. The foresters are hoping for moral courage to keep thieves away. Run, foresters, run. Google Earth translating for me. That's the text of the picture. Because of the energy crisis, wood thefts in forests are increasingly being registered in Germany. Swiss foresters fear that there will be also more wood thefts in Switzerland. That's what it is about. Due to the energy crisis, more and more wood is being stolen from the forests in Germany. This could also happen in Switzerland. Various foresters believe so. The reason? The firewood is in great demand. If this stays the same, some foresters will no longer be able to deliver wood to the end consumer by the end of October. And from there is still some time until it's winter. In order to prevent thefts in the forests, the foresters count on civil courage. Maybe I have to read this too. I don't know if it's in the next one also. Worry about winter with scarcity. The associated price increases. Concerns about a winter with gas shortages. The associated price increases and cold apartments worry people. In Germany, wood thieves are therefore increasingly roaming around in the forests, stealing entire tree trunks, partially professionally with trucks. To date, there have hardly been any reports of wood theft in Swiss forests. The hurdle to driving a car into the forest to steal wood is very high, says Florian Landholt from Wald, Schweiz. This has rarely happened in the past. Scarcity could lead to more thefts. However, that could change soon. Swiss foresters fear prices of wood and firewood are also in great demand in Switzerland. The demand for wood has decreased significantly in the last weeks. Decreased. Pieces of wood and firewood are also in great demand in Switzerland. Demand increased. Now it's increased. Yeah, as I expected. The demand for wood has increased significantly in recent weeks, says Markus Amhoff, forester and forest entrepreneur in the canton of Zug. The forester therefore fears that there will also be more wood thefts in the forests of Switzerland. If the wood isn't available and people are freezing, the inhabitation threshold goes down, says Amhoff. Since the wood has to be stored for between 1 and 3 years before it can provide heat, the supply from many wood sellers is limited. If the high demand persists, it will have no more wood to sell at the end of October. Thomas Studer, head of the Leberberg forestry operation in the canton of Solothurn, shares this assessment. The wood reserves are melting like glaciers, says Studer. That's why Studer also assumes that there will be more wood thefts in Swiss forests. The forester already finds out that many let's next screenshot. Many people would pick up wood left on the ground and take it home with them when they go for a walk. Hunters and collectors depend on moral courage. However, the forest owners cannot do much against wood theft. The foresters' area are too large to keep a watchful eye everywhere. We rely a little on civil courage here, says Studer. It has often happened that the population has reported thefts directly to the forester. We are grateful for that. We then remove the wood from this location, says Studer. The forest is not a self-service shop. If you are caught stealing wood, you will be sanctioned. It's theft and therefore punishable. So think about that. There's like forests in your environment, but you cannot take anything of that. Think about that. That's quite something. After all, in some regions, such as the city of Winterthur, there have already been capacity bottlenecks due to the high demand. Firewood cannot be purchased from the wood shop until the end of August. Daily Zürich reported on this. The run of firewood can also be felt at the Landi Switzerland sales outlet. On request, Landi Switzerland writes, "We assume that certain products can not be delivered temporarily or can be delivered in reduced quantities. However, Landi is in contact with various suppliers in order to find new procurement options." Okay, so firewood in Switzerland is rare and might be very expensive soon. I found another text and I will make another read-through. I don't exactly remember. I was searching something about ancient comets, depiction of ancient comets and such. And I came across Pliny the Elder, Origin of Species. Pliny the Elder laments the earth's riches. Year 77. So it's about, what, 2,000 years old? 1,950 years. Our topic will be metals and the actual resources employed to pay for commodities. Resources diligently sought for in the bowels of the earth in a variety of ways. For in some places the earth is dug into for riches, where life demands gold, silver, gold and copper. And in other places for luxury, when gems and colors for tinting walls and beams are demanded. And in other places for rash valor, when the demand is for iron, which amid warfare and slaughter is even more prized than gold. We trace out all the fibers of the earth and live above the hollows we have made in her, marveling that occasionally the she gapes open or begins to tremble, as if indeed it were not possible that this may be an expression of the indignation of our holy parent, Earth. We penetrate her inner parts and seek for riches in the abode of the spirits of the departed, as though the part where we tread on her were not sufficiently spontaneous and fertile. And amid all this, the smallest object of our searching is for the sake of remedies for illness. For with what fraction of mankind is medicine the object of this delving? Although medicines also earth bestows on us on her surface, as she bestows corn, bountiful and generous as she is in all things for our benefit. The things she has concealed and hidden underground, those that do not quickly come to birth, are the things that destroy us and drive us to the depths below, so that suddenly the mind soars aloft into the void and ponders what finally will be the end of draining her dry in all the ages. What will be the point to which avarice will penetrate? How innocent, how blissful, nay, even how luxurious life might be, it coveted nothing from any source but the surface of earth and, to speak briefly, nothing but what lies ready to her hand. Gold is dug out of the earth and in proximity to it gold solder, which still retains in Greek a name derived from gold, so as to make it appear more precious. It was not enough to have discovered one bane to plague life without setting value even on the corrupt humors of gold. Avarice was seeking for silver, but counted it a gain to have discovered cinnabar by the way, and devised a use to make of red earth. Alas, for the prodigality of our inventiveness! In how many ways we have we raised the prices of objects? In how many ways we have raised the prices of objects? The art of painting has come in addition, and we have made gold and silver dearer by means of engraving. Man has learned to challenge nature in competition. The enticements of the vices have augmented even art. It has pleasured us to engrave senses of license on our goblets, and to drink through the midst of obscenities. Afterward, these were flung aside and began to be held of no account, when there was an excess of gold and silver. Out of the same earth, we dug supplies of fluorspar and crystal, things that their mere fragility rendered costly. It came to be deemed the proof of wealth, the true glory of luxury, to possess something that might be absolutely destroyed in a moment. Nor was this enough. We drink out of a crowd of precious stones and set our cups with emeralds. We take delight in holding India for the purpose of tippling, and gold is now a mere accessory. And would that it could be entirely banished from life, reviled and abused as it is by all the worthiest people, and only discovered for the ruin of human life. How far happier was the period when goods themselves were interchanged by barter. That, in my view, was the way in which trade was discovered, to procure the necessities of life. Pliny the Elder. From Natural History, a lifelong bachelor who died while investigating the eruption of Vesuvius in 79. Pliny wrote now lost books on grammar and history in addition to this encyclopedia, which classicist Trevor Murphy calls a cultural artifact of the Roman Empire just as much as the Encyclopedia Britannica was an artifact of the British Empire. A tool that, converted to the diversity of the world into an ordered text and object, incorporating what had once belonged to others into the symbolic and economic systems of their conquerors. So Pliny the Elder was a clever dude. And I want to point one single thing out of this whole text. There would be many, but I hold this. He's talking about India. Somewhat 400 years, Christopher Columbus went to discover India. Or he didn't. He found America and we got Indians, and you know the story. Back some 1,950 years ago. They're talking about India. So there might be something wrong with the story they tell us in school after all. But I think I will leave it here. There were many words, no pictures. What to do? Thanks.